Big up, guys. It's your boy, Mark, an MUFC fan. Herzlich willkommen for all of the Deutsche Manchester United fans or the Mannschaft fans of Manchester United. Big up to everybody coming in. It's your boy, Mark Ken. Of course, we got a little update. It's a Sunday. Tonight, we're going to bring you the watch along with my boys, Drex and Tesh. It's going to be a fun one because I'm actually going to be on for the entire watch along, guys. It's going to be an interesting show. Let's get ready for that. But first, let's get into the transfer update, guys. And I know you guys have been waiting. Big up to Mark Davies in the building. Do you think we will get Sesko or will Newcastle get him? I'm worried about it, Mark. Big up, my bro. I'm here in the building. Big up to everyone coming in. Big up to Frankie. Glory, glory, Man United in the building as well. Mark Davies. Sorry, guys. I was delayed by the train. There's a little bit of a how obstruction on the normal route, so we had to take the long way. So that's why I kept rerouting my stream because I was delayed for a couple hours. So it happens like that sometimes. I can't help that. So that's why my stream ended up so late. Big up to Alien Tenno in the building. Let's get to the news and the updates right now. As you can see, a bid has gone in and it has been rejected for Newcastle for the one man in question, Benjamin Sesko. Why is that? People ask. A lot of people think that Benjamin Sesko still needed a lot of time to make his decision. 2 weeks ago, I remind everyone that reports from everyone, including Fabrizio Romano, is that Benjamin Sesko would prefer a move to Manchester United over Newcastle. That has not changed, guys. So I would like to remind you, it has not changed. Currently, there's a little situation where Man United needed to prepare the funds and get it ready. Now, they just wanted to. Some reports might say that Ruben Amorim spoke to Benjamin Sesko. This has happened on Friday, and it has happened again. And now, Man United are set to set their official bid in. The bid unofficially went in on Friday. This is why the Newcastle bid has gotten rejected, guys. So there's reasons behind the reason Newcastle bids got rejected because they already know that the player prefers Manchester United, and they were waiting to find out what Manchester United is willing to do. Are they willing to come up with the money, or they are not interested in the player? He's too expensive. But Manchester United is certainly going to make that bid official on Monday morning. That is all the reports confirming. There were further negotiations today to confirm the final details. So when that bid goes in, it should be immediately accepted by Leipzig, and you should be hearing Benjamin Sesko to Manchester United. It should happen within the next 24 to 32 hours. Big up to everyone going on. I'm not too worried. Don't stress yourself, guys. Big up to Keo Rooney in the building. Of course, it's going to be interesting. Manchester United had put in an unofficial bid on Friday with Vivel negotiating with Leipzig all through this weekend, even this morning up to the middle of today. And this is why, I said to you guys the bid went in on Friday because it was an unofficial bid. It was negotiated, the price payment, and all these good things. Of course, we all know Manchester United wants to do the the deal over the period of the contract. So they were negotiating basically the finalized details, how much money they need to have down and how much money will be paid over each year. And that is how it's going. Big up to Karen Samarum in the building. This deal has you worried, but it's interesting to see if we will offer a player along with cash. Well, this is interesting. We had made those two options open to Leipzig, and Leipzig has made a decision, and they are interested in some of our players. They're interested not only in the likes of Hoyland, but as well as Garnacho, who has made his decision that he will be going to Chelsea. We will talk more about that in a second. The interesting situation is that Manchester United is really interested in having Sekou come to the club. This is why there were many talks with the player, the manager, and this is why Christopher Favell has been there for the last 2.5 weeks. So it's supposed to be tomorrow is the days. It should be tomorrow or Tuesday, my bro. Like, what I can tell you is that the club has communicated to Leipzig that they will come up with the funds that they are asking for the player. They just wanted to make sure that they have the requirements and the funding and the timeline all down set. And this is why it's taking so long. Only a crazy Newcastle offer could stop Sesko to Man United, and Alien Tenor is so right about this. Not only will they have to make a crazy offer to Leipzig, they will have to make a crazy offer to the player as well, because the player's preference is clear. The player's preference is Manchester United. So they might have to double his wages and probably give him 500K a week, yeah, for him to move to the club. We all know these clubs got a lot. This club has a lot of money, but they are unable to spend it. But with the sale of Alexander Isak, it gives them almost the room to spend 250 million pounds. We'll see what happens in the window when that sale finally goes through, because this club will be allowed to spend some money. Now, the interesting thing is that, you know, if they don't get their hands on Sesko, they already are lining up an alternative. And that is the most interesting part of this conversation, guys, that Newcastle has their eyes on an alternative as well. It has not been reported because their aim is to try to sneak Sesko away from Man United. But I can guarantee you guys that is not going to happen, because Man United is going to make a bid, and you're going to hear the here we go for Benjamin Sesko. Now, moving on to Chelsea. For this weekend, there are reports that Garnacho's camp has received an offer which they are likely to accept for the player in terms of personal wages and etc. from Chelsea. The player has now made a situation a little bit difficult for the club by putting it out there that he wants to move to Chelsea and he's being delayed. Now, it's going to be interesting to see what happens here, because we know Manchester United was expecting somewhere in the region of 45 million pounds as a starting price for the player to open negotiations. Chelsea, however, value the player somewhere in the region of 30 million pounds. But the problem is that Man United will not allow Garnacho to leave on lower than the asking price. And this is because they just spent a whole lot of money of Jeremy Bino Gittins, which means that Garnacho, who is premierly proven and has contributed a lot more goals and assists in his tenure in the Prem, would be more valuable a player than, the likes of Bino Gittins. So it will be left to be seen what transpires with this deal. But reports are they are keen to get this deal done very quickly. There were a lot of reports that this deal will be done on the back end of the window. However, it seems that this deal will be pushed to the fore and probably be happening in this week by Wednesday. There are also reports that Juventus will be coming in. They were supposed to come in last week with a confirmed bid for Jadon Sancho. However, that was a little bit delayed by the interest of Borussia Dortmund. Of course, the player has long, strong, and turning ties with the club. That's his former stomping ground, and he was there last season on a loan. No, the season before last on a half-season loan. It will be interesting to see what happens here. But what I can say is that let's see if this happens this week. The player is going to have to make a move soon, and it's looking like he's going to have to accept what comes his way. Manchester United are willing to accept any offer in the region of 27 to 30 million pounds, and I'm pretty sure that clubs are going to come knocking between Monday and Wednesday for that player. Of course, interesting news to be had. Yeah, bro. His bros could, yo. Oh my God. I can't even talk about this guy, bro. It's just so foolish. The stuff that they be doing. It's so dumb. Can't even speak on it. Big up to Hayden in the building and Compost Smurf as well. It's going to be an interesting situation going forward. Man United are seriously considering an option for the midfield, and we have spoken about a few players for that midfield position. Negotiations are still in the fore and still alive for young Javi Guerra, but United are also considering hijacking this deal for Hayden Hackney. And guys, it might be very interesting if United gets this job done. We'll have to wait and see in the next 24 hours to see what happens there. And there's also some information that Man United might be having some interest in Morten Hulman. This is a late scenario update, and I'm not too sure if the club is going to make it official and go in for the player, but there are reports that Man United have inquired on the fee and what it would take to bring Morten Hulman to Manchester United. And that's the latest update, hot off the press. It's on fire. I probably need to sip something cold, but I don't have anything right now. So I can tell you guys let's just see what happens. It's going to be exciting the last couple weeks of this transfer window. Of course, we know in 2 weeks the Premier League kicks off. United will be facing none other than Arsenal in their opening match. And of course, we will definitely be hoping that Sesko is in the team. Even if he's not starting, he's on the bench or just sitting there, letting everyone know he's coming to the league very soon in a red kit. You know how it goes, guys. But that's interesting because a lot of things are going on right now. People thought we were going to sign Ollie Watkins. There were rumors that the club preferred Ollie Watkins over Sesko. Amorim wanted Watkins, and why is all the news and all the attention on Benjamin Sesko right now? I kept telling you guys, you have to pay attention to what they say because sometimes it runs a bit dry, and then they need to give you something to make it a little bit more exciting. You know what I mean? I expect Ornstein to come out tomorrow and say something along the lines of deal almost done, just final negotiations to be had, and Sesko to Man United could be but expected to happen in the coming hours. And that's what I would expect from Ornstein tomorrow. He's definitely not going to go there, bro. His preference has been made known public weeks now that he prefers Man United over Newcastle. So it's, yeah, realistically, like Campos is saying here, same shit, a different day. Another player, a different way. The lineup is out. Let's check it out. Let's check out the lineup, guys. Let me see if I could pull this up really quickly. Hopefully my screen doesn't disappear. But let me just pull up the lineup for you guys really quickly, and let's see what's happening here. Let's see who's starting in the starting lineup for Manchester United as they get ready to take on Everton in the Summer League series of the Premier League. Well, it's really interesting, but it's just really preseason, guys. You know how it goes. They like to make things sound much more grand than it actually is. Big up. Let's see what the lineups are looking like. Follow head to head. Yeah, it doesn't say if the lineups is like injured. Any injuries? Nah, doesn't show me the lineup, yo. Hold on. Guys, I don't really see the lineup. Isaac, if you have the time, could you just post the lineup in the chat? Let's discuss it because I'm looking on one of these sites that I can access while I'm live and I'm not seeing the lineup. It's rather weird, komisch, I should say, I'm not seeing the lineup right now. Yeah, well, Mark, like we've been wanting this. I've been wanting this guy to come to Manchester for the last 3 seasons, and I can tell you, Amorim is pretty interested in the player, and the higher ups are liking the deal. So it's something that should be happening. I think we should already have gotten this player. We should have made that bid official since Friday. 75 million pounds. I already told you guys 65 plus 10 million in add-ons will get this deal done. And I know for a fact that if we make that bid, this deal is a done deal. Sesko to Man United. It will be a here we go. Football ain't dead. Yeah. The two Ryans at Wrexham have proved that. Good luck to them. 100%. These guys are into the championship right now, and they're doing it a different way. They're doing it the normal way. You know what I mean? The hard way. You buy players, you hope your team performs well. They don't perform well, you go again the next season. The manager that got them to this level, he's still their manager today. And sometimes you got back a guy and you gotta help him with more and more talent. And it's just how it goes. It's a cycle, guys. Sometimes you have to be patient. Like, some people will wanted Ten Hag to be sacked, some people didn't. You can't be mad at either or. The reality is some people were more patient, others thought that it should have been working already. Now with Amorim, there's some people who want him sacked already. And he now really getting the players he wants, so he definitely deserves a full season with all these players that we're buying. There shouldn't be any talk about sacking this manager because listen, guys. Yeah, it's not going to work if we keep hiring and firing, especially when we're buying players to fit a system that's different from what we played before. especially when this manager plays a back three and we played a back four. This manager plays two tens and we played one before. So it's an interesting dynamic, guys. And for Man United, for a club at this size and at this level, with the pressures of us expecting to compete every season for the top honors, it's going to be a difficult one. And Amorim's going to need some time. And of course, we are looking a lot better and more composed and more threatening going forward in preseason. But guys, never forget it's preseason. Yeah. When the opening game kicks off against Arsenal, we're going to have to hope that we perform even better than we performed against some of those teams in preseason because it's going to be a long one. Hayden, drop the lineup in the chat for me now, bro, please, because I'm not seeing it. I don't understand why FootMob does not have the lineup on it. Normally, I use FootMob, I get the lineup and who's starting. Oh, it popped up. I have it here, guys. It's popped up. The lineup has popped up, guys. Okay, let's see. So the starting lineup for David for let's talk about Moyes and his lineup at Everton. And then Dye is going to be their starter wearing the number 10. Beto will join him in the starting lineup as well as their new also their new signing Irogbonam. I can't pronounce his name too well. James Garner will be featuring as a starter in the midfield next, partnering with Adrissa Guy as well as Julian Alcaraz. And Mikolenko starts in defense with Keane in the center, partnering Tarkowski, and O'Brien is their right back. And goalkeeper, of course, you know who he is. He is Pickford, the England number one. Yeah. But anyway, Bayern there starts in goal for a third game running. Dalot starts as well. Euro starts as the centre back, and Luke Shaw. Wait, just now wait. Dalot doesn't start at centre back. Euro starts at centre back. Luke Shaw and Matthias De Ligt. It seems that Dalot will be playing one of the wing back roles as well as Ahmad. Bruno Fernandes starts next to Kobe Menu and Ugarte, with Matthias Cunha playing in the 10. And Mbumo is starting as a false 9. Apparently, that looks like the formation, and it looks like that's what we're doing in this game going forward. Guys, what are your thoughts on that? McTominay, the MVP, first season. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Twitter got the lineup. Yeah, I just called it out there, guys. It looks like we're gonna be doing a false 9 with Brian and Bruno up top. If they give Ruben a striker and a GK, he's got half a chance of getting Europe. Outside of Chelsea, City, Arsenal, Liverpool squad, I don't really rate anyone else's. Most an injury away from a disaster. Compose, that's an interesting statement that you put up there. But more importantly, Compos, we have one game a week. All those guys you just talked about, they have Champions League. They're going to be picking up injuries. They're going to have tired moments. And Man United is going to be fit as a fiddle and ready to go. We're going to be riding that rhythm. Big up to Richard James in the building. Big Rick is in the house, rocking the Peak District. Yo, big up to you, broski. The drop off The drop-off of the Serie A is quite sad. League getting terrorized by the likes of McTominay and Lukaku. They'd hardly get a kick years back. 100%. But to be fair, bro, McTominay could be interesting, could be having a moment because remember, McTominay, he's not the best player, yeah. But if you ask him to go forward and get a goal in the box and thing, he could do these things. And with the fact that the Serie A is not that is always remain that league where you have time on the ball, just like in Spain and in Portugal, players with a little bit more time on the ball will all do a little bit better or much better in some cases than they would do when they have less time on the ball. 100% Richard James. Sesko to United is a matter of time. It's not a matter of worry. It's a matter of time. Yeah, no, no, I'm not saying you're hating, bro. I didn't say that, bro. 100% no. But what I can say is that, yeah, I understand what you mean because as a man that's watching AC Milan all the time. You know what I mean? Not every single game, but I do watch them a lot. So I can tell you that, sometimes the league, the quality of what you're seeing, you can see when you look at Milan, they're not one of the biggest teams in Europe anymore. Their lineup doesn't even look like a star-studded lineup anymore. So that alone can tell you how far the Italian league has fallen. Mr. B is in the house, guys. Guys, so we talked up. What do you think about the lineup? Brian Umbremo starts in a false nine. It looks like Cunha will be in the number 10 role next to Bruno. It looks like Kobe Minu will partner Ugarte. And guys, it looks like Diego Dallo is playing at the right wing back. Or I think he's playing at the left wing back. And I think that Amad Diallo will be playing the right wing back tonight. We'll see how that one goes. And of course, Lenny Oro starts, Luke Shaw starts, and Matthias de Ligt. And in goal for a third time running is Bayern there. Let's see what happens with Bayern there, because there are reports that, we are looking and interested in a new goalkeeper. There are some reports that we might possibly be in for Donnarumma. And as I could tell you guys, we have inquired on and inquired to his camp on what it would take to bring him to the club. But it will definitely depend on if Onana leaves for Bayern there for Donnarumma to come to the club, because he will have to be coming as our new number one and not as a backup. And that's what's going to make that deal a bit difficult. However, not so difficult is going to be the deal if we were to do it for the young Belgian keeper who will be coming in if he comes in, and that will be a lot cheaper at 20 to 25 million euros. And of course, he will be prepared to be a backup and wait in the wings. Isaac has done us a big favor. The lineup is here, guys. You can see it on the screen. Leniro at left back, left centre back, Delit in the centre, Luke Shaw at no, Leniro at right centre back, Luke Shaw at left centre back, Ahmad at the right wing back, Ugarte, Menu, Dallo at the left wing back, Bruno Fernandes and Bomo, and Cunha up front, or what one of the two. But on my list, I saw Cunha in the 10 and then Bomo up front. But if Cunha starts up front, it's going to be interesting either way. 2 weeks before United sing back to life, back to reality. Channel. I hope you guys gonna have time later on to join us for the watch along for the game. This was just my update for you guys, a little short update and brief on what is happening with Manchester United in the transfer window. My message to everyone: do not panic. United actually has things covered. We should be signing Sesko within the next 48 hours. It should be confirmed and official very soon. But I can guarantee United is in this deal, and we're going to be holding on to this player. He's going to be a red, and I can tell you we're going to be cooking this season at some point. May not be in the first 6 months, but maybe in the second 6 months we will be an oiled machine. That's a terrifying situation to look upon on the opposing side of the field. Big up to Hayden Pro in the building. I will see you guys back in just a short 2 hours for the watch along. Yeah, we're not gonna read Hayden's last comment there. But you know what I mean. I'm gonna see you guys in a couple hours, and we will be live for the watch along as Man United take on Everton. Your boy will be here, so come join me. Have my buddies joining me as well, Drex as well as Tesh. So be sure to tune in, and don't forget to smash a like and subscribe. The new season's so close that the trap that they're what? I can taste the traffic fumes on the Talbot Road. Let's be interesting. Sesko is not going to Newcastle, broski. Their bid was rejected. And yeah, and like I keep telling you, broski, he wants the United move. And United are prepared to do the deal. So relax. Don't stress yourselves. But you'll see what I'm talking about. Have a great night. I'll see you back in a couple hours for the watch along. For those of you who are going to watch the game, we will be here and be square. Big up to you guys. Red Devil mode is on. Drop the hashtags everywhere you go. And don't forget to leave your flag. Represent where you're from. This is a global fan base, a global community, and we're all Manchester United fans. And you know what I mean? One love. Of course, Joel John O'Connell, he's coming. He will be here soon. Kick off in 54 minutes. Is it so late already? I'll be back in about 25, guys. So yeah, the stream's already set up. I gotta drop the thumbnail, but you can see it there. If you want to go smash a like early, that'll also be really helpful. leave a comment as well on what you think about it. Yeah. I just realized I forgot I'm an hour. I got home a couple hours later than I expected. I keep forgetting. My bad, guys. I'll be back in like 45 minutes. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Yeah. Big up to everyone.
Baby.